Wow, man, that trailer. We had the one and only Jessica Williams from Two Dope Queens here with us just a couple of days ago to speak on this very project.
That's right.
That's premiering on Netflix this Friday, September 30th. It's called Entergalactic, and it's something. It's special meaning behind the title and actually the theme of this project. But DB, can you let them know who we got in the building with us right now?
I feel like kicking myself in the ass right now because we had Tyra Banks here yesterday.
Oh shit!
Shit.
And none of us even realized that Kenya was going to be here today, and the correlation between the two of them, the co-creators of America's Next Top Model. But we were we had Iman here, so we were kind of like caught up in the Iman and
Tyra. A lot of
Tyra.
beauty in one room, Kenya. They look
Black
great.
beauty.
Yes.
There we go. So like I said, he's the co-creator of America's Next Top Model. Grownish mixed this, you know him from that. But he's here to talk about Entergalactic, which is premiering on Netflix tomorrow. It's the musical component of Kid Cudi's upcoming album, which will also be released tomorrow as well. Please welcome him back to the show, Kenya Barris.
Kenya Barris. Kenya!
King Kenya!
Kenya! What an ill-ass name, man. You grew up named Kenya.
What? I hated it. It was all girls. And it was, African booty scratch. You got, kids, what I'm saying? It's a different
They called
time.
you an African booty?
From Boys in the Hood. You don't remember that line? That line was fucked up.
That was the 70s. They wasn't saying African booty scratcher in the 80s, were they?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, man.
It's all good. Now there's not too many guy Kenyans, so
Yeah.
I get it separates it, but I hated it growing up.
Okay. All right. Well, I liked your name, man.
Me too.
We got a rule. If your phone rings while you're live on air with us, you got to pick it up.
Yeah.
This is not a ring.
Okay.
It's an alarm.
He just laughed at that rule anyway. He's like,
Kenya's
not
like,
happening.
man, Sway, I done made.
I'm with Sway.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Kenya's, I made way too much money, Sway. I ain't got to pick my phone up. I wanted to have you two here. You guys know each other. Cudi, people know Cudi for many things, including Genius, the trilogy, the docu-series, and then everything from Blackish, Mixed-ish, American Next Top Model, Girls Trip, the list goes on. Kenya Barris. Come on. What do you think of Cudi's work?
I think he's a genius. I think he's a genius.
Yeah.
I always have. He's just him, literally him and Chike, they 10 toes down, solid. Every time you see them, no matter what's going on, it's who you get. It's the same person, and they've been doing things ahead of everybody else since before. And I've been 10 projects we try to do together.
Yeah, really? Sure.
Because they're the
What y'all try to do?
We talked about a documentary.
Bunch of like Kenya put you on the phone with Puffy or somebody quick. You know what I'm saying?
They're the ones, and even we'll go back to Through the Fire. You know what I'm saying? Just like in general, like we did a Jordan commercial together. Did it ever a doc?
The doc we was going.
Did it come out?
No.
It was dope. They had the interview. It was just everything that they do is always the Benji joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we really connected to.
It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everything they do is better and ahead of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing, and they do it silently, and they do it with grace, and just like you can't find somebody who has something bad to say.
Did y'all get a chance to kind of like fraternize on the come up? Like, yo, man, I was working with this one studio. This is what they did to me. Really? Be careful of this person. Did y'all ever swap game?
We talk stuff sometimes.
So what kind of stuff, as up and coming, filmmakers, writers, producers, what kind of things did y'all encounter?
I mean, I got a lot of questions for Kenya, though.
Okay, go ahead.
No, not saying that.
I'm doing
because his success is, is he been doing it. He's doing it. You know what I mean? And he stay humble, and he, look out for other filmmakers. So, man, I commend this dude right here.
Being so motivated black, Kenya, you still, regardless of how discriminatory the business can be, you have still risen to the top, right? As far as we can see. Right.
I'm not there. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Yeah. And was it especially harder, or you just look straight ahead?
I think, you can speak. I think that, right, excuse me. I think right now it's a crazy time for us. You know what I'm saying? That we're getting an opportunity where people want to, hear what we have to say and want it to be authentic. You know what I'm saying? I think the idea of is so many talented people who are finally getting their chances. You know what I'm saying? When I saw Genius, and I know what these brothers have been doing, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking up and like, docs are the new Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Docs are the new big. I need you to get closer to
Wow.
that.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go.
that's the new Bitcoin. And I see when you're, what you can own, take, keep your IP, sell, and make, X time, you know what I'm saying? You can 5 times, 6 times what you put into it. That gives you power and that gives you resources to go do something else. And these brothers been doing it. He had no idea when he was doing that was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this time was going to come out. And I don't know how long it stays around. You know what I'm saying? But I know right now content is king. And there used to be a thing we couldn't own the content because it was too expensive to own. But now you can go and you can make a doc for $100,000, $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Billie Eilish sold for $35, $30 million, $28 million. I won't speak on my man who's got that bag now.
Got that
He
bag
said
on
that
him.
yesterday. I'm like, Rich, you rich. What you mean?
No, but I feel like in general the idea of we can own our own, IP. I think that changed everything. And I think with the streamers needing content. If they used to be able to pay you a fee, and the fee was good. Now we can say, you know what? I think I'm gonna hold on to this, and I'm gonna take this, and I'll see you on the back end. And I think that gives us power. So I think that's a new place for us.
Kenya Barris. Tracy, you got a quick question?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kenya, there's so many reasons to salute you. Obviously, you're such a stunning form of representation for us in this industry.
I appreciate that.
And I also feel like you have such a deep reverence for Black women. Obviously, you make so many shows that our entire community can get hooked on. But when I think about Girls Trip, when I think about The Game, there's so much that you have created where I've seen all the different versions of myself and all of these characters. Like, can you just speak on your relationship with the Black woman and why she is at the center of so much of your work?
I mean, that's who raised us, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got cool with my dad later, but he wasn't really around. You know what I'm saying? It was my mom, my grandmother, my sisters, the community around, you know what I'm saying? That's who I was talking about this about a barbershop. The barbershop meant so much for a lot of us because it was single moms. That was the only place you really went, and it was like a dude who had a job, was going to be there when he said he was going to be there.
On time.
On time.
Yeah.
Shot some game to you. Like that, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of positive. Unfortunately, I think that has changed. I think it's completely changed. I think Black fathers now it's factual.
Exceptional.
You know what I'm saying? It's factual. We put more time into because of that. So I think, the idea of Black women for me are that's what made us who we are.
I love that.
DB.
Yeah, this question is actually for everybody, as a matter of fact, because Sway, you and Jay Ivy touched on it previously about the messaging and the words that we use in the content that we're digesting. And my question really revolves around, you can make the argument for we need to diversify as much content as we can so that we get to tell our stories, good, bad, and in between. But then there's also the influence and the impact that it has on, easily influential people. You know what I mean? Like if you put violent stuff out there, it might make them think violent thoughts. If you put songs about murder and rap and all that, you know what I mean? It's going to create a negative sort of idea in your head. So how do you balance being able to tell our stories the way we want to and, from the good and the bad, like I said, in between, but also try to not put stuff out there that's so negative and can have that influence on the youth and whoever else might be influenced by it?
I think it's exactly what you said. I think it's balance. You know what I'm saying? I feel like one for them, one for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes I want to make sure that we do something that talks about families and it talks about but I do also feel like, there is a whole, when I went to go see The Irishman, I'm like, this should be the end of the Italian gangster movie. You know what I'm saying? Like we've watched this for 45 years. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, and when you think about what gang culture is, and like you think about, Mexican gangs, Latin gangs, Black gangs, and I'm like, it doesn't have to glorify them. These are people who in their communities were, these were heroes in some eyes. This is what they were doing. And I'm like, why are we not telling these stories and tell them at the same level of Scorsese, tell them at the same level of Coppola? Why are we not actually getting into what these, these communities? And I feel like, because we're so afraid of being like, well, that might glorify this. I'm like, was that glorifying the gospel? Was that glorifying the Italian mob? That was telling a true story.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. That was entrepreneurs of the thing. So I feel like I want to do it all. But I feel like the thing that I really feel like we're at the point now is for so long our execution, because we weren't given the budgets, we weren't having the training, our execution wasn't at the level where we could say this is a movie about us before everybody. I feel like now we got this. We got, you know what I'm saying, we got brothers who can actually put it in the frame. We were just talking about color correction. We weren't talking about color correction, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, shout out to Citizen Chance. He's doing color correction for a Shine documentary with Showbiz and myself and Jenny. I got to say names. Esteban.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Man, you got to.
I got to say names. Esteban. I see Esteban.
I feel like, but like we now can do things. I feel like we can span the gamut. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, it's not just about church. We don't have to just do church stuff. We don't have to just, people, you know, give Tyler, you know what I'm saying? Tyler has a lane. Tyler's my brother. Tyler taught me a lot in terms of business in that lane. And he told me very much so, like, I remember walking in and my mom and aunt would be watching those on VHS, you know, watching those plays.
The Medea plays.
And I'm like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And somebody told me, you know, I remember when I was on the game broke every record for viewership, right? And every year as a writer, you'd have to go for a staffing meeting. And I went in a staffing meeting, and one of the executives, who's a paid television executive, was like, what show are you on? I was like, the game. I never heard of it. I'm like, you never heard of the show that broke all the records? You know what I'm saying? And in the business that you're in, because it didn't matter because our numbers didn't count. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that is now changing. I think that is what, for me, all of this, when I look and I see, you know, my brother's doing stuff, and I see the idea that what we do is about execution right now. We can't just keep, you know, saying like, well, so I support everything black. I do support everything black, but sometimes I'm gonna pull you aside like, yo, that ain't it, bro.
Hello.
That ain't it. Right, there you go.
I'm not gonna say it out loud,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna pull you aside and be like, yo, the mouse didn't match. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Yeah.
Word.
The mouth wasn't in sync. Who did your color correction? This real quick, Intergalactic is about a artist by the name of Jabari, who's on the cusp of success. And then he meets Jessica's character and has to decide, you know, damn shit, I'm popping right now. And
do I have time?
Do I have time? And isn't that what we all gone through, especially in the black community? Right. We, you know, when I think Nas said sleep would be the cousin of death.
Yeah.
And then so we've been grinding 24/7. And then someone like me who's grinded for decades, sometimes I look back now, I often use this as this is a true story when I go home to Oakland. Sometimes I look at the photo albums, and for years I'm not in any of the photos because I'm working so hard. And I'm thinking I'm working for family, but now I'm not spending time with family, right? Did you ever deal with that personally?
Bro, I literally, you know, it's the worst part about all this, about any type of success, is there's not a lot of people who've done what I've done, you know what I'm saying, and been successful, unfortunately, who look like me. When we were going through the divorce, you know what I'm saying, that this, you know, just recently it was like divorced this again, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like that was hard because I have kids and all that stuff. And I realized that was me first time getting success, cheating, not being there, not doing what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying, blaming this person, you know, blaming her, like really legitimately not being where I'm supposed to be, and realizing that I'm missing out on the real moments of what, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff was supposed to be for was family. You know what I'm saying? And like realizing that I was, you know, having to like find myself, like be wrong and say I'm sorry and like do this, but at the same time, I still got to get up and go grind. And with that grind like this, we're all first generation successful for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And you're not, you know what I'm saying? I told somebody, they were like, you know, like messing around. I was like, it's real easy not to fuck somebody when nobody's trying to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I never realized that.
Until they start trying to fuck you.
You know what I'm saying? And people have, like, I was like, I never realized that, you know what I'm saying, thing, especially for a writer. You're not thinking that, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't getting no
groupie.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't supposed to be what it was. And I feel like, so all those not being in the pictures, you know what I'm saying, all those things like that, I feel like, you know, like I send apologies to my wife, to my kids, to my family, to my friends, because you are so in the grind that sometimes you don't pick up the phone and just check in. Sometimes you don't, you know, take the moment to take accountability. Sometimes you don't do the things that you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those are the things that I feel like success, that first generation doesn't teach you.
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
And I feel like, so with Jabari, it's even more right now significant because at 25, you're trying to you're supposed to be successful at 25, 30. You're supposed to already have been a millionaire, already have made it. You know what I'm saying? Social media and all that stuff has sped up the process so much. So, it's a classic rom-com. It's a classic love story. Guy gets girl, guy loses girl, guy gets girl back. But it's taking Love Jones and those things that we love and putting it in a contemporary way. And I feel like that to me is something that I was really lucky to be a part of. And I think in moving forward, relationships, all that type of stuff, I'm looking at how I can see myself differently. You know what I'm saying? And really take it. Therapy was something I never done that too up until I did. Until you did. And then when you do it, you're like, why didn't I? When you was growing up, it was go take a bath, go to church, go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't about go talk to somebody about your problems. You know what I'm saying? Go explain yourself. Go actually see what patterns you have, what part you played in this. You know what I'm saying? How you can change, what tools you might need to communicate differently. Like, so I feel like that all that type of stuff is things that I feel like we are very new to.
Did your family forgive you when you apologized?
It's a constant apology.
Yeah, it's a lifelong apology,
real.
right?
It's a constant and that's why you keep that. That's why for me it's breaking up, getting back together, getting back, because the idea of like people don't understand. I don't even understand like the idea of it's not just about making it or forgiving. It's about there's water gets under the bridge.
Yeah,
it's like you having to accept this, you having to accept that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my kid's mom cloned my phone, and I was like, oh no,
wow,
oh shit, what does that mean?
Oh no.
What does that mean, Cudi?
Made a copy.
I left somehow, and this is just so y'all. Somehow, I think I have not figured out. I think I left on the Apple TV.
Yeah.
I think I made it so you don't have to like put your code in every time.
Yeah.
And I left. We were arguing whatever, and I left, and I just was like,
ooh.
Oh no. Oh no. And it was like she started saying specific things. I'm like, how could you possibly know this?
Yeah.
I cannot. But I was like, the idea of like phones have gotten more people in trouble, whatever. But with that being said, sometimes like getting all that out, you know what I'm saying?
You were relieved.
I had a conversation with one of my idols, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he told me him and his wife was going something. He said that they went to a therapist, and the therapist said the only way that this is ever going to work is they had to practice 100% honesty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is somebody we all know about. They were going through like a very public thing. And I was like, 100% honesty? It's like, must have been crazy for you. He was like, yo, you think as a dude it's going to be crazy for you? He was like, you've never heard anything till your girl's 100% honest with you.
Oh, shit.
She tells you about how you look how she looks at you when you go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? How you got food in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? How you, like the idea of like just, who she hearing that men aren't built for that.
Yeah. We're not.
No.
We're not built for it.
We're not built
You're
for
really
it. Heather
not.
says that all the time. Doesn't Heather say that
Yep.
all the time? But you're happy you went through it?
I'm going
through it.
I'm still going through it, but I feel like life is a series of, it's the journey, not the destination.
Yes.
So I'm still going through the journey, and I think it does in some aspects for me. I put that into my writing. You know what I'm saying? I try to be really self-deprecating and really be honest and talk about what's happening and all that type of stuff. And sometimes that it causes, the boo birds come out and they have something to say and all this type of stuff. I feel like as long as I feel like for me, you know what I'm saying, and for my family, I'm being as honest as I can be. I feel like I just have to kind of lay in that. So
there's a little bit of Kenya in Jabari.
There's a little bit of Kenya. There's a lot of Cudi.
A lot of Cudi.
There's a lot of Cudi. There's a lot of all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like that notion of like every time you think you're done with your ex, you know what I'm saying, and you meet someone, why does she pop up? You know what I'm saying? Looking better than ever. You know what I'm saying? Right when you're like, why does she pop up? You know what I'm saying? And so like that moment is happening for him. You know what I'm saying? And all that's going on and choices as he's having, he's an ambitious dude. So I feel like we're trying to tell a story that feels really specific, to these characters. But at the same time, I found out that the specific speaks to the universal. Everyone in this room, if you tell your story, it's amazing. It's just how you choose and what point you choose to tell that story.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing that people, I'll try to tell young writers, your story, I don't even need to know you. You have an amazing story. It's just how you choose to let the world see that story.
Kenya Barris, real quick, because I know you got to go. I feel like just like He mentioned Kid Cudi, and I'm just looking at the connection here. Kanye, J.I.V., Cudi.
Right.
You know, Ye's in the
came
building.
last night and shouted us out.
Did he? Okay. Cudi. Man, I love Cudi. Cudi's something else, man.
Cudi's special. I tell people the way I got hooked up with Cudi, my daughter, 6 kids, three oldest are girls, 3 youngest boys. My second daughter, who never asked for anything because she doesn't want to act, she was like, she's the head of a BSU at like this kind of white school called Harvard Westlake, and she was like, do you think you can ask Cudi if he'll come speak at the BSU? And I was like, I don't really know him like that. I was like, I can ask. I thought it was gonna be a quick no, and bro said yeah. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I really appreciate that. Now it's 20 of them. They moved it into the auditorium. It was 1,500 kids, mostly white.
Mostly white.
And they're crying talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you changed my life. You know what I'm saying? I was so different. And I'm like, I'm sitting there looking back like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I started realizing I like Cudi music, but I didn't realize he liked that whole emo rap, the idea of sort of like talking about mental health, talking about depression, talking about love, that the melodic sort of thing. He was so inspirational. You know what I'm saying? I've heard that Travis Scott is Travis Scott because of Scott Muscuddy, the Scott in Travis Scott. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was so inspirational to a very, Cudi's not that young. He just looks young. You know what I'm saying? But his scope spans so far. You know what I'm saying? And he's so smart and so, very interesting dude. So I feel like the idea that when he wanted to do it, he was like, I want to do something about love. And he brought us in the studio and those reference speakers started playing. He played one song. I'm like, I know what it is. And we started talking. Me and him just started vibing. We were like, you could just hear. It was so visual, the way that he makes music and things like that. And so I feel like it was, it was amazing. I hope one day him and Kanye, I don't know what to do.
Cudi, is that ever going to happen, J.I.V.? Cudi and Kanye?
I have no idea. I don't even know if they're. I have no idea even if they're not. I just heard. But like,
I'll mediate it.
They come together.
Right. That'd be good.
That'd be classic.
You got the answer, Sway.
Yeah, you got the answer, Sway. Sway always had the answer.
Kenya says it's already. Thank you, man.
Sway always had the answer.
But I feel like the idea of people who are special when they collaborate, you know what I'm saying, and what something comes about, I feel like their collaborations are
it's
amazing.
Incredible. It's right. It's divine. Yeah. Kenya Barris, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate your transparency, your honesty, your contribution to our lives with these special projects and all the amazing actors and actresses that have come through your projects that are doing amazing now, man. You at the nucleus of all of this, and you've inspired, just like Kid Cudi has, you've inspired a slew, generations of filmmakers, storytellers, creatives across the board. You let them know you don't have to be apologetic about how you feel, who you are, and telling these stories that aren't commonly told at a high bar. Right. You know what I mean? I just watched the Jasmine's Blues last night and wanted to salute Tyler Perry for that amazing.
Oh, I gotta see it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, man, bro.
Is it good?
I turned my phone off.
She said it's really good.
Wow. It's really good.
This is the one?
This is the one.
It's the one.
Wow.
Did he direct it?
Yep. He wrote it.
Wrote it, everything.
It's his first screenplay.
Wow.
The first ever wrote.
Yes.
He made it out of his first back in 1995 is when he wrote it. Me and you, I think we got each other's information. I love to hear how with your thoughts.
I've been wanting Tyler to do, you know what I'm saying, to go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really happy that I gotta watch it.
Absolutely. Kenya Barris, man, big round of applause. Intergalactic out this Friday on Netflix. J.I.V. got the album out right now.
The Poet Who Sat by the Door, streaming on all platforms. Go check that out. Get that. Run that. Running featuring John Legend, Slick Rick, Z-Verse. It's produced by Excellence. Y'all go get that right now.
And thanks for putting Dion Cole on for us, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, brother.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, that's if you haven't had. That's the funniest in the world.
Oh, I know. I'm mad because I missed his last tape, and he invited me to it. I couldn't go.
Just him in general. You talk to him in general. I was saying something one day, and Dion, he was like, is that a snake? I was like, I don't know. I was like, come. He's like, man, you could rob me with a snake. And he just the way his mind works. He's a writer. I think that dude is going to be listen. He might be the biggest star in the world one day.
Yeah,
Deion Cole.
Yeah,
Deion
for
Cole.
sure.
Remember, I'm saying that.
He on the album too.
Is he?
He's on the Poet Who Said By the Dough, streaming everywhere. Deion Cole. Yeah, that's incredible.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I've been
he blessed me.
documenting Deion early on too.
Yeah.
I got Deion early on.
Cudi documenting everybody.
Yeah, got to.
I love that.
Wow, man. Cudi, congratulations, man.
Thank you,
This is
thank you.
great to see family winning, y'all.
Oh, man.
We want to thank DJ Chubby Chubb for his guest DJ spot
Chubby
today.
Chubb.
Tracy G, they can reach you where?
Citizens, Twitter, Instagram, hit me up at it's Tracy G, ITSTRACY.
Ooh. DB, how can they reach you?
Everywhere, it's really DB.
Torch.
Torchinson, Torch, INGTON.
Torch is our new morning show producer, y'all.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
Torch.
this
We
guy.
here.
Light it up.
We
I
in
love
there.
how quick y'all can say stuff. I wish I could say stuff. Cool
Kenya
like that.
Barris could be reached. Check his.
Everybody has their shout out.
Try it,
Super
try it.
cool.
You know your social?
No, I'm not doing mine.
Stay that
I
true.
don't know how to do it. It's at Kenya Barris.
There you go. You did it fast, bro.
It don't sound cool.
Do
when I
another
say
take,
it.
though. All right. Cudi.
At Cudi Rock.
You did yours, right?
No, I didn't. J_IVY. The letter J_IV.
I'm at Real Sway across the board. Citizens, thank you for tuning in. And on that note, we have nothing left to say.